Facebook. I am going live on both my Instagram and Facebook. Hello, hello, hello. If you're coming in, let me know where you're calling in from. It's good to see you all. Happy Thursday. Happy Real Thursday. Went on live one day and it was a Tuesday and decided to say happy Thursday. Today is a Real Thursday. If you see me looking at both screens, that's okay because I'm on Instagram as well. Good to see you all. If you're coming in, just let me know where you're watching in from. I'm so excited to share about this topic, this idea of acceleration, and some of the principles that I've learned about acceleration and some of the habits that people need to have to be accelerated. I'm excited. I'm excited. If you're coming on, please share and please go ahead and greet. I want to see who's on here. Good to see you, Miss Jacqueline, of course. Good to see you. Can't see the other ones because I'm trying to balance both Instagram and Facebook. Hey, Rahima, good to see you. Good to see you. All right, my name is Takumbo Okalaja. I am the founder of Takumbo the Leader, where we help rising leaders, love their authentic voice by building their confidence to write and speak. I'm also the founder of the When Gentlemen Speak initiative, which is a program to help young African American male teenagers to excel in academics, character, and entrepreneurship. Today, I wanted to just get on really quickly to talk about the concept of acceleration. I really like to encourage people that feel like they're super far behind, that there's a way for you to always catch up if you follow these principles of acceleration. I put a post up earlier because I said I have this weird relationship with acceleration. I've had to do some pretty uncommon and unconventional things in order to be accelerated in some of my processes. So I want to share with you all one of the stories that I put up there on Facebook or Instagram as well was when I was called to be a teacher, when God told me I was going to become a teacher, and it was my junior year. Hey, Siobhan, good to see you back on Facebook. Good to see you. And what's up, Marilyn? Okay. Yeah. And so I found out my junior year of college that God was calling me to be a teacher. And I was like this, huh? I'm not going to go back to school and learn how to become a teacher. And so I learned through my process. I had to go through a 6-week process with Teach for America, and that immediately sped up my process to become a teacher. So I went to a 6-week training, and over the summer and in the fall, I ended up being a teacher, and I've been a teacher for the past 8 years just off of that one process of being accelerated. So I've had different journeys where God was trying to get me to somewhere really quickly, and I've noticed that I've had to do certain things in order for me to be accelerated. So being stagnant or accelerated are choices in life that we get to make. The right decisions, the right mindsets, the right habits, the right behaviors are going to be that thing to help you to propel into your destiny. It is not too late. So if you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm super far behind, I'm going to encourage you today that it's not too late. You just have to make some choices in order for you to catch up. You have to practice certain principles in order for you to catch up. And today, I really hope to give you some practical advice. If you know me, I like to give people practical things to do. So I'm not just going to say a bunch of things that I've never done before. I want you to actually put these things into practice. So number one, well, let's just get the definition of accelerated. It's to speed up, right? So number one is increase in the rate or speed of something. So if you feel like you're far behind, let's increase your rate. Let's go faster. So number one, I believe that you have to be willing to get uncomfortable. If you are not able to get out of your comfort zone, you are not going to be able to go through the process of acceleration. I know for me, for Teach for America, they were sending us to Mississippi. I had never been to Mississippi a day in my life. This was my first time leaving my home, Maryland, and I was like, what in the world is this? And I had to choose. Do I want to stay in my comfortable place where I know a bunch of people, where my family is here, or do I want to accelerate my process by oh man, do I want to accelerate my process by actually deciding to do the uncommon thing, right? Which is deciding to go ahead and take that leap with God and go to a place that I've never been before, become uncomfortable, right? So that was the number one thing. You have to be willing to get out of your comfort zone. I just actually got live on Instagram, so that's why I took that pause. All right. Some of the things that doesn't feel good to you does not mean that it's not good for you. So just because it doesn't feel good does not mean that it's not good for you. And so one of the things in order for you to practically take the step of getting out of your comfort zone is that you need to take that out of your vocabulary. If you find yourself, someone's presenting an opportunity to you and you say, oh, I don't feel like doing that. I'm uncomfortable. I don't like doing that. If this thing is not leading to death, or it's not leading to something disastrous or destructive, but it's actually going to be something to mature you and grow you up, then I would take that route instead of saying, oh, I'm not comfortable, I'm not going to do this. You need to ask yourself these questions. Is it going to lead you to danger or distraction, or is it going to lead you to greater maturity? So you really need to take out of your vocabulary that, hey, I'm not doing that. It doesn't feel comfortable to me. I don't like it. My feelings are in it. You got to take that out of your vocabulary, especially as a leader. We don't always get to do things that feel good to us, right? We have to make a decision to do something based off of, is this going to yield much fruit for the people that I'm called to, and is it going to cause me to be more mature? Number 2, listen and learn. One of the greatest things I like to do is I love to learn from other people's mistakes. I'm like, fam, if you did that and that led to all this destruction, I'm not going to do that. But I know that if I respect and honor a particular person, and I want to, hey, Courtney, good to see you, and I want to get to where they're going, I'm taking notes. I have my notebook out. I have my recorder on my phone out. When I'm with a mentor, when I'm with someone that actually knows what they're talking about, I'm taking out my notebook and I'm taking out my recorder and I'm listening and I'm learning. I'm not only learning from their mistakes, I'm also learning from their wins. So if you know you're around someone and you're like, hey, this person has had success in this particular area and you have not had success in that particular area, you need to take out your notebook. I'm not understanding how people are just freely sitting around mentors and sitting around people that are places that you want to be, and you're not listening, you're not learning. When someone I respect is talking, I definitely take notes. I have my phone out again. I have my recorder out because I want to remember exactly what they said. I want to go home and be like, look, what did they say again? Hey, Fab on Instagram. Okay, number 3, if you are trying to be accelerated in your process, I'm going to let you know right now, it's going to cost you something. The acceleration is not for free. So some people that you see like, oh, they're 30, they're over here. That costs them something. It's going to cost you something. You're going to have to make a sacrifice. If you're watching in the comments, just go ahead and put hashtag sacrifice. If you're not excited about sacrificing, if you don't want to sacrifice anything, then acceleration is not for you. So acceleration can come in the form of sacrificing time, your money, your popularity, what people think about you, your reputation. You need to be willing to make an investment in yourself, investing in your education, investing in particular courses. Maybe you're going to have to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Some of us are going to have to go to sleep later. The acceleration is for you if you are making a sacrifice, if you want to make a sacrifice. And again, it can come in time, relationships. If you know that you can't be friends with particular people because they're not helping you get to where you're going to go. If you know that you have to go to sleep at a particular time. I know I text some of my friends this week and I'm like, fam, this is my bedtime. I can't talk to you because I'm trying to do something. I believe that God is trying to accelerate me in this particular area. So I got to be asleep. I got to be asleep at this particular time. You have to make a sacrifice. Practical steps. You need to research what programs you need to invest in order to sharpen your skills. You need to do that research to invest in what courses, to see what type of courses you need to help reach your particular goals. For me personally, I wanted to learn how to be a school leader. I wanted to know how to build schools, how to build sustainable schools. So what did I do? I had to go back to school. I had to invest money in Columbia. I have a large bill. So I have a very large bill with Columbia because I was invested in creating sustainable schools for children that live in low income areas. It's going to cost you something. And then that also cost me my time. I had to go to work. I was a full-time teacher. When we had to do our internship, I had to go to work. And then when I came home, I had to write my papers. I had to do my research project. So if you want to be accelerated, you need to think about what is it going to cost you? As everyone has their own costs for everything. So you need to set a time in your schedule to study particular topics. What are you going to do in order for you to be accelerated? That's up to you. You have to make that choice, right? Number 4, don't despise your journey. I believe that when you despise where you came from, you're not going to be optimistic about where you're going. So the next point is, you can put in the comments, hashtag don't despise the journey. Because what I believe is that when you are actually when you're weighed down and you're frustrated and you're sad about the past, you're not able to focus on what is ahead. All right, you're not able to focus on what is ahead. And so once you're bogged down by the past, you're not able to think about, hey, I could be accelerated. I'm excited about the future. When you're stuck in shame and regret, you are definitely weighed down. Shame and regret causes you not to move forward. You are stuck in something that happened in the past a long time ago. And so I believe that if you want to be accelerated, you have to heal from your past. You have to recognize that the things that happened in your journey was for particular people. So even some of the things I had to go through to be accelerated, I have some crazy stories that I'm not going to talk about today. But if you catch me at a different time, I'll tell you some stories. Even with my move to North Carolina, just some crazy things. I'm like, what is this? But once you understand that you went through some particular things, not for you, but it was for other people, you won't despise your journey as much. And I feel like if you're not grateful for the things that you went through, you're not going to be able to share your story with particular people. Therefore, it's going to hinder you from actually being accelerated. All right. Practical step, you need to think about how can your journey help someone else? And then what did I learn from this experience that's going to help another person? So ask yourself those questions so that you're not despising, like, hey, I went through these things. I mean, Psalm 139 says every day was ordained before even one came to be. So even if you think, oh, you could have avoided this, maybe, but maybe not. Maybe you had to go through a particular thing because of someone else that you were going to impact, right? So yes, Siobhan, I can say the points over again for sure. Number 5, you need to surround yourself with other like-minded people or people that are smarter than you. I love what my professor said at Columbia. I won't say his name, but he told me one day, he said, I like to get around people that are smarter than me. And he was super brilliant. And then even when I went to Columbia, I was around people and I was looking at them like this. Oh my gosh, like y'all are really smart. I really love collaborative learning because I get to learn from genius minds and brilliant minds. And I get to learn about things that I would have never thought of on my own, for real, for real. And we get to sharpen one another. You need to be in a community of like-minded people that want to go where you are going so that you can develop, so that you can gain access to some of their wisdom and you guys can sharpen one another. So you need to think about the people in your life that are able to help you to critically think. If you're not critically thinking, if you're not exercising your mind and exercising your brain and exercising your thought systems and how to think about better ideas, then that's a problem. So you need to think about who is around you that's helping you to actually come up with better ideas and better systems and patterns. I believe if you're not challenged by anything, if you're not challenged by your peers, if you're not challenged by people that know more than you, then you're just not going to fly. I feel like for me personally, I always wanted to go higher and higher based on the people that are around me. I look at them like, oh, that's cool. You do that? Okay, I'm trying to do that too. Like I'm trying to figure out how can I do that as well. And so instead of being jealous of people, instead of talking badly behind people's backs, how about we just ask them, hey, how did you get accelerated? How did you do such and such? And so that's a practical step. Be friends with people that know more than you. Stop being intimidated by people that know more than you. Go to events and network with people. Be willing to be friends with people that do not have the same background as you. People that don't have the same belief systems as you. Just because someone doesn't have the same belief system as you doesn't mean that they don't carry a level of wisdom. There are some people in certain streams and certain arenas that have more information than you. And that's okay. And I like to learn from them, right? I like to not be jealous or intimidated. I'm like, hey, how did you get to this point? How did you get this information? I want to learn more from you. Number 6, you need superiors in your life that you allow to correct you and affirm you. The key word here is that you allow them to correct you, because it's not going to help you if you have a mentor in your life and you're like, oh, I'm not going to listen to anything that they have to say. So what is the point of that person being in your life if you don't listen to anything that they say? Obviously, they're a superior, they're a mentor, they're someone that you look up to. So you should trust them in some form or fashion that they have what's best for you in their hearts, right? You need to take the advice that your mentors actually give you. If they're just giving you some information and you're being flippant with it, first of all, you're just being dishonorable and you're wasting people's time. Number 2, take the advice that you get in books. If you don't have a particular mentor in person, you need to watch the videos, take notes, read the books and take notes. Do not just read something. Don't just listen to someone teach, preach, or whatever and say, that's good. And then you don't do anything with it. Like you just sit there and you say, that's good. You need to ask, how can I apply what they've given me and how can I implement it in my life? When I hear from a great teacher, I like to go through my notes and say, hey, how can I implement this in my own life? How can I make this a reality in my own life so that it's not just words on a piece of paper? Number 7, you need to be consistent. If you are trying to be accelerated in a particular direction, you have to be consistent. You have to keep your word. You have to be at least loyal to yourself. If you're not going to be loyal to nobody else, at least be loyal to yourself. If you want to see results, you have to keep your eyes focused on one direction for a time until you see the results that you want to see, right? I know this is super, 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 super hard for creatives. If you're creative on here, just put creative. I'm a creative on here because I know. Like one day we're invested in this project, then the next day we got this project going on, then the next day then we have this going on, and you're not really seeing that much fruit in a particular area because you've jumped from one project to the next project. I know for me, with teaching for 8 years, I've seen so much fruit because I stayed the course of teaching a particular subject for a long time. I've been able to grow as a teacher in a particular subject area because of evolving, because I was consistent. I stayed focused on this particular subject area. And so I know it's really hard, right? But just because you get an idea that pops up in your head today doesn't mean you actually have to act on that particular idea today. You could save it for another day. But you need to be consistent in one direction for a while to see the fruit that you want to see, right? And then you could pivot to something else. So practical step, you need to ask yourself, what promises have you made yourself this year? Maybe you made some promises this year and you did not keep them. You need to analyze why you didn't keep them. You really need to sit down with yourself and talk to yourself and be like, fam, you look at yourself, Rahima, Siobhan, Miss Jacqueline, why didn't you do what you said you were going to do? You said you're gonna go live once a week. Have you stuck to that? I know for me, I was saying I'm gonna go live once a week. I haven't really stuck to that, but I'm trying. I've been trying for the past 4 weeks. If you said you were gonna write 2 hours a day for all my authors, all my writers, have you done this? Set your goals and stick to them, and do not despise small beginnings. So maybe you only wrote for an hour a day. Okay, don't despise small beginnings. Continue to be consistent in that area. Number 8, you need focus and determination. If you have not decided firmly that this is what you want to do, then you're not going to see results. When you're determined about something, when you're dogged about something, nobody can distract you. And then let me tell you something. When you make a decision to be focused, I'm going to tell you right now, you're about to get 1,000,001 distractions. You're about to get people calling you, like some old friends from back in the day are going to start blowing up your phone for no reason because you have decided you're gonna be focused, you're gonna be dogged, you're gonna be determined to see results on something. There's a scripture that says, "Keep your face like a flint." You're stone cold on this, like you're looking straight, you have tunnel vision, and I guarantee you, there's distractions that are coming. So once you recognize that, hey, there's something out there that's trying to distract you, you're not going to allow those little things to distract you. You have to have this inner power. You have to have this inner resilience. You just have to know the schemes and scams that are running around you to get you off course. So maybe somebody at work made you upset, and now all of a sudden you don't want to finish the project anymore because someone at work made you upset. What a distraction. That's such a huge distraction for no reason. You've got to stay focused on whatever you are resolute to accomplish. If whatever you're getting engaged with is not going to help you with your end goal, you probably need to get out of that thing. If you're involved in something that has nothing to do with what is part of your purpose and what is part of your destiny, you got to get out of that thing. If it's not going to add any fruit to you, you're probably being derailed. You're probably being distracted. Whatever things take you out of course and out of alignment from your destiny, you've got to get rid of those things. This needs to be a non-negotiable. When people come to your life, and they're not adding anything to you, you really have to ask, is this person a godsend or the opposite? How is this person helping you to accomplish the goals that you have? Or are they distracting you? Are they a hindrance? Are they pulling you down? Are they weighing you down? Are they taking all of your time for no reason? Right? That's something that you need to analyze with yourself. Next thing is rest. I know this is like a curse word to some of us because we always want to go, 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 go. I know for me, I've had several times where I learned my lesson because I did not rest. And I realized I've taken 2 sabbaticals before, and like by force, because I was extremely burnt out from teaching. And when I tell you, when I came back from sabbatical, I had so many different ideas. I had a whole new course idea because I took the time to rest my body and to rest my mind. And I was able to actually go faster because I decided to rest. So I want you to not be tricked by anything saying like, oh, you need to work all day long. Like you work, you're not going to stop working till you're dead. Like that is just ridiculous information. And I know firsthand for myself that it's hard for me to go sit down somewhere. But I recognize that when I do go sit down somewhere and I do have rest, I'm able to come back sharper, and I'm able to come back with greater clarity. I'm able to come back with creativity. I was able to take the time to rest to see how I can pivot certain systems. And I was able just to take time to rest your body and rest your mind. You really have to rest. I'm telling you right now, if you don't learn the concept right now before you get platformed, you're going to get overwhelmed once all these things come to you and you don't understand the concept of rest. You're actually going to buy yourself longevity and the ability to leave a legacy if you understand how to rest, right? I think this is going to be my last thing. You need mentees. You need people, you need to be able to pour out freely and give out information freely. I realize that as a teacher, every single year that I teach something, if I teach the same subject, I actually get more information after I teach something. And so you need to be more invested in how are you going to share your gift with someone else that does not have this particular information, because in the long run, it actually helps you, and it actually helps you gain more information, right? The more that you pour out, you have to get it back in. So you gain more access to more information if you don't hoard all your information. If you're a person like, oh no, I don't want this person to know all the stuff that I know because I had to work for this stuff. I mean, keep that information to yourself and you're not going to get no more. So you need to freely give information. And a practical step, you need to ask yourself, who is somebody this year that I could really take time with to mentor, to pour into? Maybe take one person for 6 months and really spend time with them. Maybe once a week you talk to them. Maybe there's somebody in your life, in your circle, in your community that needs someone to talk to about a particular subject matter, and you have that information. If I guarantee you, if you want to actually gain more access to information and go faster and accelerate, you really need to pour into other people's lives. You really need to give that information out freely. Be generous with the information that you have and do not hoard it all in. All right, someone told me to repeat the practical steps. And if you just got on IG, I totally started the camera on late. So I was talking about acceleration and how if you are behind right now, that it's not too late. If you feel like, oh my gosh, I messed up when I was 15, I messed up when I was 20, or when I was 30, I'm going to encourage you today that if you take certain practical steps, you can actually be launched and you can actually go faster and you could go into some things that you never thought that you could. And so I want to encourage you today that it's not too late. You don't need to be stagnant. Let's accelerate. Let's work these principles. Number one, you have to get out of your comfort zone. You have to recognize that being accelerated is actually going to make you do some unconventional things. It's going to make you do some uncommon things. Another unconventional thing that we had to do, I told people, I said for Teach for America, we literally had to sit on a campus for 6 weeks, and we had to go from, it was like 5 in the morning. We had to go teach. And then at night we had to come back and we had to go to classes. I mean, I don't know what time we went to sleep, okay? But that's highly unconventional. I know for grad school, our program was accelerated. Some classes that would have taken someone a year to learn, we literally had to sit in a class from 8 in the morning to 5 p.m. And then after 5 p.m., we had homework that was due at 10 p.m. And we had to sit there for 6 weeks, for 2 summers to do that. Very unconventional. But it's something, whatever, again, if you're called to do something and you want to be accelerated, you just have to know you're going to have to do some uncommon things. You're going to have to be uncomfortable, and you're going to have to do some unconventional things. Number 2, you need to listen and learn. If you need to get people around you that you respect and honor, where you're going to learn from their mistakes. You're going to learn from their successes as well. You need to have a pen and paper out when people that you respect are talking. Number 3, it's going to cost you something. You need to make a sacrifice. Either you sacrifice your time, you're going to sacrifice your money, you're going to sacrifice your popularity, you're going to sacrifice time in your schedule. You're going to have to make some type of sacrifice. The acceleration is not for free. Number 4, you are going to not despise your journey. You're going to ask, why in the world did you go through something? And you're going to see how you can go back and help another person. And you're going to heal from your past so that you're not weighed down. Number 5, you're going to surround yourself with people that are smarter than you and people that are like-minded, right? People that want to grow, people that don't want to stay stagnant, that continue to push you to be accelerated and to grow. I believe we're on number 6, you are going to have to listen to your superiors, the people that you call your mentors. You're going to actually allow them to correct you and allow them to affirm you, because some people, we don't allow people to affirm us, but you're going to give them that space, that ability to do that. Number 7, you need to be consistent. Even if you don't think that you're seeing something overnight. I know people like me, we're impatient. We do something, we're like, bam, we need to see this thing pop tonight. No, ma'am. It's gonna take. It might take years, but you have to be consistent to like stay focused and see. Be consistent with whatever you said you're going to do. Be loyal to your own self. Number 8, you need to be focused. You need to be determined. I'm telling you right now, once you decide that you're going to be dogged about something, you're going to get distractions. And number 9, you need to rest. Don't believe the hype and the lie that resting is not good for you. It is. You will come back with greater creativity and clarity. And number 10, you need mentees. You need to be able to pour into other people. Even if you think that you're inadequate, there's somebody out there that you know more information than. Like maybe if it's a teenager, you know what it's like to be a 15-year-old girl. How can you help someone else? How can you mentor other people so that you can learn some more and be accelerated in your process? And so today, I want to help you to accelerate your writing dreams. I want to I know a lot of us have been sitting on our writing gifts for too long. And so I'm inviting you to join us and publish now. What took us, Coach Nicole and myself, years to learn, we are packaging it in a 4-hour class so that this is how you get accelerated. You sit in classes for a long time. I know that from my own experience. I sit in classes for a long time and that's it. Like immediately I understand the information. And so this is why it was 4 hours, because what took us years and research and all this time to take, we're giving it to you in 4 hours. We're telling you how not to overspend and how not to waste your time. We're going through the process of how to write a manuscript. Like, what are some simple, practical steps to write a manuscript so that you don't get stuck? That's what I do. I activate writers. I've been teaching writing for the past 7 years. And so I have some principles and some steps on how you can write a manuscript like that. It really should not take you more than 3 months. And I have the keys to help you to not take more than 3 months to write that manuscript, fam. What is it going to take you to publish at a low cost? And how can you sell your books? There's so many different formulas out there. And in 4 hours, you can learn the formula. All you got to do is just come to this one class. That's it. That's all. And also, if you are not able to come to the live, you can watch the replay, and I will be glad to answer any questions that you have when you get the replay, right? So if that's not an option for you, you can't make it live, which is fun live because we're interactive. I ask you questions, and you can ask me questions. You're going to get the recording back to you. And you're going to be able to ask me questions. You can email me at info@takumbotheleader.com, and I will answer those questions. Also, I'm excited to be partnering with Rain Publishing. My good friend Rachel, she has this publishing company, and they are offering $200 on a publishing package with them if you want to get your books published. I'm telling you right now, if you've been sitting on your writing gift, you've been sitting on your writing dreams, this class is going to accelerate you to go ahead and become that published author. We have certain practical steps in order to become a best-selling author. And we want you to get in the room so that you are not frustrated and you're not overwhelmed with the process and you quit. Some of us quit because we don't have the information, or you do something, you make a bunch of mistakes. And I've made all the mistakes for you. Coach Nicole, she's made some mistakes too. And so we want to help you so that you learn from these mistakes and you don't have to go through these mistakes and you can be accelerated. If you are trying to be accelerated, go ahead and put in the comments, accelerate me, #accelerate me. I want you to be accelerated. I want you to stop sitting on your books. There's some people I've met that say, oh yeah, I have a manuscript. I just haven't published it. I haven't done anything with it. And I have some people like, oh, I have all these great ideas, and like they don't have not one book. So this class is for you if you are a first-time author and you have a brilliant book idea and you just have not gotten it down on paper, or if you are a person that wants to know how to publish at a responsible cost. We're all about being fiscally responsible. I cannot believe some of the horror stories I've heard where people spending like $5,000 to publish a book and only sell 10 copies. Like, what is that? Like, no, like we're not going to do that. We're definitely going to teach you how not to do that. And then also marketing your books. How can you strategically place yourself in the market so that you actually sell your copies and that you actually get your story out there to other people? I'm excited. If you want to join my mailing list to get other special offers, please go to my website, takumbotheleader.com, subscribe. Also, email me at info@takumbotheleader.com. I would love to answer your questions. I would love to help you get activated in your writing gift. I'm rooting for you to write until your book gets published. I'm going to take some questions before I have to get out of here because I have to get out of here pretty soon. Good to see you all that came in. Thank you for the engagement on the comments. Amazing, amazing, amazing. If you have any questions on Instagram, hit me up. I know I didn't start the camera on time, but those are my practical steps on how to be accelerated. It's for people that want to do uncommon things, unconventional things. So if you have any questions, and thank you, Miss Jacqueline, for being a scribe and posting those points on here. Any questions about Publish Now, how you can get into the room? I'm excited again about partnering with Rain Publishing. That is a huge discount for their publishing services. So that is amazing. So if you've been sitting on your book, I mean, we're just offering you all the tools to accelerate your process. So if you know you've had this book sitting for years, let me accelerate you. Let's get accelerated at Publish Now. All right. I don't see any questions. I'll wait like 30 more seconds to a minute to see if anyone has any questions. And yeah, I would love to answer them. If you're watching the replay, please hit me up with some questions. I would love to talk to you, and I would love for you to get into the writing room. That is what I do. I've been teaching writing for 7 years. I've studied leadership at Columbia, so this is something that I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about helping leaders to discover their voice so that they can make an impact in the world. All right. If there are no questions, I am getting off of here. I will write a legacy with you all later. And love you like a leader. Bye.